Well, we're in the National Welsh lockdown in Wales, and I'm back walking our disused railway line as we're not allowed to go outside the village for our exercise. And the English national lockdown is about to begin. This month we got rid of 2 of our cars that we've had for a couple of years, and we now share a car, Ruth and I. And we've got some video from Llandudno, where we were before the lockdown began. Had a weekend down there, it was very nice. And let's first take a look at the West Shore. The West Shore is the less busy part of Llandudno, and the parking restrictions are minimal. You can generally find yourself an on-street parking space and there's no charges around here. There's plenty of places to walk. There's a large beach area, not many people on it, and this is a great place for people to come and push their pushchairs, walk their dogs, even if their dogs prefer to swim, and to go to some refreshments when there isn't a national lockdown. These pictures, of course, were taken before that, and so you'll see a cafe in operation as normal. According to the Welsh Daily Post, the people of Llandudno have been protesting about the national lockdown. A lot of people in this country don't believe it's as necessary as they say it is. Our Canary Island this month is Tenerife, and we're at Los Gigantes, which is an ocean-fronted marina with huge cliffs dumped here by the volcano when it last erupted. And lots of boat trips of different sorts are available. We took the little yellow boat so that we could get up close and personal to any dolphins, whales or anything else we might come across. As we motor around the cliff edges, you can see the other types of boats that operate in this area. The other place we're visiting is quite near to Los Gigantes. It's actually only a short walk round to Crab Island, which is where these photos are taken. And there's a kind of infinity pool here, but these swimmers don't care much about that. They've come to catch the waves, literally. We also managed to catch a picture of ourselves, and this is all in high definition after I'd bought a high definition camcorder from Sony the year before. The video was taken in 2007, I brought the camera in August 2006. Kind of dry stone walling here, which is absolutely teeming with lizards. They love to live here. And the people come and take photographs quite regularly of the activity in these rocks. We were here in December at Christmas and it was hot, but there were carols playing on the loudspeakers around the pool. And And this cat is pregnant. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that when I decided to tickle her belly, and she kind of went for me. As a final note from Los Gigantes, this rocky volcanic outcrop on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean is a place where lots of cats live wild. Now in Spain, of course, most cats live wild, but the locals do feed them, so you'll see some little food bowls here and there. But what a great life for these cats. They have all this land to explore, and they have the ocean to gaze out on. I hope they appreciate it. We've made lots of progress at Trident this month, and I've had a little help from my friends. To see more about that, stay tuned, we'll show you later. Back to Llandudno, and this is the second area that we're exploring today. It's called Happy Valley. It's up the hill at the side of the Great Orme, and as you climb you get a better and better view to the sea down below, and if you don't fancy walking it, there is a cable car to take you up. Just below Happy Valley is the Llandudno Pier, and we will be exploring that another time. Yes, we did take lots of video while we were in the resort, and we're saving some of it for next month. Just one more thing to do, to go and explore this busy little cafe and get ourselves some ice cream. Yes, it's winter, and yet it's warm enough to eat an ice cream. Well, I thought so anyway.
That's a smart single selection from the Shy Lights, and their latest called Toby, a track from the latest album. And the Shy Lights are currently on tour in this country, and they're coming to Liverpool. I'm sure lots of their fans will be going along to see them. And that will be heard again, that record. Listen to the Billy Butler Show tomorrow morning, and I'll be playing it, of course, once again tomorrow afternoon, right here on the Brian Smart Show. It's 4:32. Let's see if I can put that in English for you. 28 minutes to 5, I think that's right. We've got another golden oldie for you. Revive 45 from Cliff Richard. Good times from Cliff Richard. 26 minutes to 5 o'clock from Radio Merseyside, 202 95.8 VHF. Chef. And from now till 5, this is the Brian Smart Show, and here is my album of the week. Fanfare, please. Maria Muldaur's album, Waitress in a Donut Shop.
That will be £100 and 30 new pence for the fanfare. Thank you, Neddy.
And here's a track called It Ain't the Meat, It's the Motion, written by Henry Glover and Louis Mann.
VOA 202 and 95.8 VHF.
If you're listening on VHF, a special crisp good afternoon to you. Got some music from Graham Central Station, a fine group are over in this country at the moment, and this is their version of the Detroit Emeralds hit Feel the Need in Me. Graham Central Station, Feel the Need in Me. Pardon? Hello, that was the drum beat there, I definitely heard a drum. Jingle Machine has got hiccups, sorry about that there. Graham Central Station's version of Feel the Need in Me, just one of the sort of sounds I'll be playing tonight at Marine Football Club Crosby, 8 till 11.
And you can join me on Friday at 6:15 for a programme called Now and Then, when I look at the new releases and the best of the oldies.
John Kennedy 202. I've never even heard of him.
Well, a big howdy to you friends and neighbours. This is your old country cousin Don Allen here, just taking a few moments out in the programme to remind you that every Tuesday evening and Saturday afternoon, country music at its finest comes your way for 60 full minutes. That's Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. or for the repeat, Saturday afternoon at 1:15 p.m. Sounds Country here on BBC Radio Merseyside, serving England's Great Northwest. And don't forget, for requests and dedications, it's Sounds Country, care of BBC Radio Merseyside, Commerce House, Sir Thomas Street, Liverpool, L1 5BS. And until we do meet again, may the good Lord take a liking to you. God bless you all, and see you real soon.
Thanks very much, Daffy Donnan. 16 minutes to 5 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon.
Brian Smart, Radio Merseyside, BBC. The Merseyside Pick of the Week.
It's the Arthur G. Album of the Week.
Country sounds you will see. You get those country sounds for free. It's all on Radio Merseyside 202. Brian Smart is undoubtedly the greatest DJ in the world.
One of these days I will teach that average fellow. My name is not Iron Smart. He'll try again, actually. Hang on. What is it again?
Brian Smart is undoubtedly the greatest DJ in the world.
Anyway, close behind the Times, number 2 in the top 30, Gloria Gaynor. What a record to go out with. Never Can Say Goodbye.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening from Jonathan Coe at the Merseyside News Desk. The headlines. The Common Market in Britain will decide on its future relationship with the EEC in a referendum to be held before the end of June. And also in the Commons, a select committee is going to look into the position of the runaway MP John Stonehouse.
Apart from a couple of little excursions, I've mainly been at the house in Trythin. We're trying to get this back into use, and it occurred to me one day that it's awfully untidy, and if I was going to bring people around and show them what we were doing, we should clear up a bit. So that's the first thing that happened. Everywhere there were piles of rubbish, and I started sweeping up and bagging up waste and putting it outside ready to take away. So the second lot of pictures of these rooms are a little more tidy, although we still have work going on, so we still need to keep tools and other materials here. Put some heavy bolts into the wall and got the water heater mounted, and then I cleared the floor. It does still need varnishing, I admit. And then I turned my attention to outside. This is the bit last month I said, no, let's not talk about that. But we are talking about it because my Audi A6 that you see here is going to the scrapyard in mid-October, so I was anxious to use it for a couple of weeks in the month. Now you can see we've cleared one side of the garden. There was a reason for this, in that a friend of mine wanted to put his caravan here, and the Welsh lockdown was imminent and he wasn't going to be allowed to move it once the lockdown started. So we were in a bit of a hurry to try and get this cleared, and we thought he was going to put it over that side of the garden. However, I didn't know enough about manoeuvring caravans in a confined space, so I was wrong about that. Anyway, the clearing continued, and some of it could be burnt, so we started stashing wood ready to start a bonfire, and some of it just wouldn't go in a car, and anyway the car had run out of MOT and had to be taken away. So we had to get a skip. The skip has arrived. We've been putting all the burnable stuff into a heap to start a bonfire, digging up all the stuff that's buried in the back garden here. It's been a right mess, but we're getting through it slowly. This is the worst corner of the garden. It's where they obviously buried all the rubbish from the household and buried it again until it was a mound as high as the wall. But we have now cleared most of it and revealed the wall. It's still going to take quite a lot of bin bags to move this stuff off, and we're not going to fill the skip with just household rubbish. We're going to bag that up and treat it separately. You can now see there are steps up to the higher level of the garden, but the lower ones seem to be missing, so we'll have to put something back in place there. But we discovered a number of stone blocks and bricks that we can use as we've been unearthing things. So the newly arrived skip, and the space along this fence is where we want to put a caravan, so this land needs to be extremely flat. So if I show you how flat it isn't at the moment, that's the task in hand up ahead there. Even with the complete lockdown in Wales, I can still go to work, and this is my place of work. It's mainly outdoors for me. Handyman Bob is working inside, but that's a different matter. And I have another person helping me in the garden, but as you can see, he keeps his distance, and he went up on the high level bit of the garden and started digging that over. So we got as much as we could into a midi skip, and we had to wait a couple of days for that to be taken away. The original estate agent photograph from when I bought the property shows two grass banks either side of a stone staircase up to the upper level of garden. That had obviously become totally covered up, but as we started to unearth it, we found that we were digging into the grass bank and ended up removing it. And what a joy that was, because behind there, unknown to me, was a stone wall. And so I decided that we were going to move a whole load of soil and reveal this stone wall. Back inside the house, and Handyman Bob is carrying on. We have to enclose the water heater. So we're building a cupboard that's less than half the size of the original airing cupboard that was there. You can still see where that used to be. And we've moved the wiring over a bit as well, so that the switch for the immersion heater is inside the cupboard. The socket that was beside it is outside and in the bedroom area. And a fly just went past the camera. The second bedroom, the spare bedroom ceiling, that's all been plasterboarded up, and this is the insulation we've now put behind it because it's right below a flat roof and a possible cold zone. The dining end of the kitchen now has its ceiling completed, all the wires are hidden, and above the main kitchen area we put an LED panel which is quite bright even on a bright sunny day outside. The bonfire, well, Bob had a gas torch of some sort to get it started, and no sooner had we got it going a bit than the farmer came tearing across shouting at us from the farm shop saying the smoke was going into his shop. So we had to dampen that down and leave it. Of course, I created more work for myself by digging out the grass bank because it was filled with rocks and stones and general rubble to build it up, and I had to then find a place for all this stuff to go. So I ended up getting some black sacks to put all the soil in, moved all the rocks and stones up to the high level of the garden and right to the back, adjacent to the farmer's field. And then all the grass is classed as garden waste, so I found some white sacks and separated that out, and that's as far as I got. I have to leave these bags on site for now due to the lockdown, so we've done as much as we can before the caravan is due to arrive. Very awkward to get a caravan into this very narrow drive, so what we actually did, because you can't put the car where you need it to back it all the way in, is we uncoupled and pushed it in by hand. Got a few people to help us, of course, and you can see from the pictures just how tight it is to get this onto the site. So my idea that you could just bring this in, swivel it round and put it where you want was not possible. Here's the aerial view, and it will take some manoeuvring to do that. But I think we're wise to leave it where it is and clear away all the other rubbish first. Then we'll have complete access and put it where we want. So a busy month at Trythin, and there we leave it, and there we also leave the Maythorn Monthly, apart from a look back at what we were doing in the MM 2 years ago. October 2018, the Giants were in Liverpool, and this one was watched up on the beach at New Brighton. Colin and I were in Bulgaria eating soup and anything else we could get at various restaurants and cafes around the Svistov area. I went down to Portsmouth to Gunwharf Quays and watched the sunset. Back in Chester, we were doing a fair amount of work on the house in Vickers Cross 2 years ago, and we did the driveway, we knocked down the shed, and we did some roof repairs. Aerial photography without using a drone. I was up on top of a hill in Oropesa del Mar in Spain, and I was up the Spinnaker Tower at Portsmouth, Gunwharf Quays, looking down at the Solent and watching the sunset again. That's it for this month. See you in December, and it'll soon be Christmas.